Hey guys, this is Ashley. I'm glad you guys stopped by today. We're talking about the new ColourPop palette that launched at Ulta Beauty. It is Ulta Beauty exclusive. They released the Rendezvous palette and the Sweet Nothings palette. So you can only find it on the Ulta Beauty website or at inside Ulta stores. Hopefully if your Ulta carries ColourPop Cosmetics. I'm talking about the Rendezvous palette today. So when you open it up, it definitely, I couldn't really tell so much on the website, but once I got it in my possession, I did pick this up inside a store. I was like, oh, it's beautiful, but I didn't get my Becky G palette yet. And I was like, oh man, it really looks like the Becky G palette that we just released on the actual ColourPop website. So at the end of the video, I will be comparing both of them to each other to see which one maybe you should pick up. I did do a video on the Salvaje palette already in collaboration with Becky G. That video is already up on my channel. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this palette for you right here, and then I'm going to do a demo. This palette retails for $16, and like I said, once again, it's only at Ulta Beauty. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the swatches. And I did forget to mention, you know, all the good stuff about ColourPop Cosmetics, that they are, you know, cruelty free and that they're made in Los Angeles, California. But however, this palette does not have a mirror, even though it retails for $16. I'm not sure why, but it just doesn't. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first row of the palette. These names are really light, so I have to kind of look to see what it is. It's Want You Back, which is this first brown shade. Hope you can see it. And then we have Style and Grace. I just think about Biggie and the way they promoted this. It was like all the men and women with Style and Grace. I was like, yes. Oh, these colors. I mean, they show up a lot better. This pink shade is called Our Secret. And then the last one is called My Treat. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't even read them. So light. Okay, so that is the first row. I'm going to go ahead and re-swatch this color Style and Grace because it's kind of going into one of my other ones. Now this color is not really patchy, but it's not swatching well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with the next row. So we have Shake It Out. Then we have Catch. Then this turquoise shade is called Release. These are probably like the worst swatches known to man. I'm sorry, you guys. And then the last shade is called Fling. Okay, so for the last row, at my elbow, we have Two Birds. Then we have this brown color. It's called Textual. Then we have Never Never. And then we have Let's Do It. So these are the swatches. Sorry y'all, they're pretty bad. But hopefully you can see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this demo. So like I said before, I'm using the Rendezvous palette right here. I have my eyebrows filled in using the ABH brow definer in the shade Caramel, and then I have the Urban Decay primer potion on in the shade Caffeine. I have it all blended out, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a clean blending brush. Well, semi-clean-ish. I need to wash my brushes. Lord. Okay, so I think I'm going to do like a darker, smokier, dramatic eye with this palette. So I'm going to go in with this is the shade Style and Grace. So like when I think about this palette, I'm like, to all the ladies in the place with Style and Grace, allow me to lace. Y'all know that Biggie Smalls. Yes, so I'm just throwing this in the crease, kind of diagonal, you know, going up on a diagonal right there, back and forth. Windshield wiper motions. I have used this palette before. I mean, it performs just like any other ColourPop palette that's come out as of lately. It's not bad quality. The color scheme is fun. I mean, they've really been doing it. It's just like when I looked at it, I was like, oh, these color schemes are very, very similar. So that is the shade that is Style and Grace. I'm just going back and forth. Just like this. That was my phone vibrating, y'all. I'm sorry. Somebody was texting me. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Shake It Off. It's kind of like a berry, cranberry, fuchsia-ish shade. This palette is very pink, where the other palette I think is a little bit more brown, brown slash, it has those deep colors like sangria, but very cranberry, but more brown base, I guess. It's just going back and forth right there in that crease, building up definition. Just going to kind of pat it, make sure that color is more pronounced in that area. And then I'll go through and blend it like so. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my MAC. This is the 224 SE blending brush. And I'm just going to make sure that's all blended out up at the top, even down at the bottom, right here in this little crease socket. Make sure it's even blending. Okay, so once I have that in, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my Sephora crease brush. This brush is dirty too, good lord, like, oh, like brushes are dirty. Well, all of them. So that's Sephora brush. I'm going to go in with the shade Textual. This is more of a brown eggplant shade. Kind of put it in the crease. Oh, okay. I've used this palette before, but I did not use this shade, did I? Nah, I don't think I did. Comes off pretty rich. And I'm really kind of more focusing this kind of like in the crease, outer corner, just giving it even more depth. But I kind of want to put this black shade, Let's Do It, on the lid and then layer over the shade Never Never. Sorry, y'all. Ambulance. This palette actually does not have a mirror. I think they're done. So now I have my MAC. This is my 213 synthetic brush. Like I always say, I got this in the holiday collection. And I'm going to go in with the shade Let's Do It right here. This is this black shade. Did I just stick my finger in it a little bit? I'm going to tap it off. These shadows are not too powdery. I do have a little bit of kick up in the pan. Nothing terrible. I think I had more kick up in the pans with the Becky G palette. This black shade, it picks up okay. It's a little lackluster as far as blacks. It's a little patchy. It's also very dry. You would think that the more red mattes would be a little bit more dry because those are generally reds, pinks, purples, things of that nature are usually a little bit harder to formulate. I'm just going to go back through. I'm just going to pat in those areas where it's looking a little sparse. Okay. Now I'm going to go back with that MAC 224 blending brush and make sure this is all fused together nicely. I don't want to drag the black into the crease, but I do just want to make sure it's fused together nicely. Now I'm going to go ahead with my Urban Decay Moon Dust brush, which is actually really good for usually with shimmer shadows, hence the name Moon Dust. You know, moon dust are very glittery, shimmery shadows. So I'm going to go in with the shade Never Never. And I'm going to use it dry first. Tap it off. I need to pat it. Okay, it's not. Okay, I did not swatch the shade before I've used this. Oh, wait, hold on, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna do a finger swatch. Okay, there it is on my finger. Let's see. It's definitely a lot sheerer, and it has some flecks of gold in it. Okay, but let's change brushes because it's picking up just a little bit. I see a little hint of gold in there, like on my eye, but it's not really picking up the way I thought it would. Yikes. I don't know. I'm gonna change brushes. I'm gonna go in with this Tarte synthetic brush that I really like to use for my shimmer shadows. So we're gonna go ahead, pick it up on the brush again. I might need to go ahead and wet it. This shade is really pretty. It's kind of crumbly. I'm going to put a little bit in this blank spot also where we did not put the black. I just kind of wanted it to fade. I didn't want it to be so dark on the inner corner. Let's see, I'm going to bring it up a little bit past the crease. Kind of simulating that I'm doing a cut crease, but I'm not. I really like to bring my shadows up just because of the way my eye folds in that area. Let's see. Okay. It's not bad. I'm going to go ahead, blend it out a little bit. Okay. So that actually blends in pretty well together. Go ahead, blend it in just a little bit more. Nice and smoky. Okay. I want to see what this shade looks like wet, so we'll go ahead and wet it just a little bit. I have my Urban Decay All Night Setting Spray here. I'm gonna go ahead and wet it. Oh, let's see if it gives us a little, just a little bit more, just shine. It's looking pretty dull. I was hoping the black would make it pop. It did a little something for it. You see more gold reflex popping out, but nothing to write home about. Nothing to write Santa about. You know, it's the holidays. Just, what are you guys getting for Christmas? Did you put any makeup on your wish list? Let me know down below. It's like, I think at this point, if I put some makeup on my wish list, somebody's going to be like, really? No matter who I tell, really? Really? Okay. So, okay, let's do a little inner corner highlighting action. I'm going to take the shade Fling right here. I have the Tarte brush. I wiped it off. Pick it up. Just going to do right in that little inner corner. Now, since this shade Never Never has some kind of coppery reflex in it, I'm going to try the shade Catch right here, and let's see if we can bring some life to this. I'm going to stick it in the middle and kind of diffuse it out. I'm definitely going to blend it up so it does not look crazy. I'm going to go in with a little bit more. This shade performs a lot better. That Never Never shade, it's a little on the lackluster side for me. And just making sure it's smoothed out over my lines and my eye right there. Okay. I think that does something for it. I'm actually going to kind of bring it in a little bit and just let a little bit of that shade Never Never peek through. So peek through here and kind of on the tail end. And then I'm going to go ahead and wipe the brush off. I'll go back in a little bit more with Never Never. re-intensify it here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and this is almost a completed look. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this little pencil brush. This is a Sephora Pro Precision Smudge. This is a number 29 brush. And I want to go ahead and take, I don't know why I'm really doing this to myself because this color had plenty of fallout. I do want to go ahead and take Never Never. I'm going to roll it on the brush, tap off the excess. Then I'm going to spray it with Fix Plus, and I'm going to attempt to run this underneath my lash line like so. I did put a little bit Bad Girl Bang mascara on. Okay, it's not too, didn't really get any fallout there. And do the same thing with the other eye. I just wanted to kind of give it a little bit of more smokiness. And for my liquid lipstick, I'm wearing the ColourPop Besame from this Becky G collection, along with the shade Secreto. Okay. And then so we can match, I'm going to take a little of this orange, which is Catch, or copper shade. Tap it off. This one was nice. It didn't have all the fallout. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys like it. Let me know, did you pick up this palette? Are you thinking about picking up this palette? So couple concerns. So like I said, I had used the Rendezvous palette before, but I did not use the shade Never Never right here, and I did not use the black shade. I basically stayed to the shade Style and Grace, Our Secret, and Shake It Off, I believe. Yes, those three shades right there. I did like a simple pink look. However, overall, I mean, the palette's not bad. I'll have to kind of play around with it more, and you know, I will do like a final wrap-up review of the palette. But this shade Never Never, I'm not sure if you guys saw during the demo when I did this, I had so much fallout. Now I understand that this shade might not be supposed to be a like standalone super pigmented opaque shimmer shade, and it doesn't actually feel like that when you swatch it and start applying it to your brush, but it was very crumbly. It was very lackluster. I know I did put it over the black, but even the area like right in this inner corner where I didn't have the black, I really had to build it up. If you did not wet it with some type of Fix Plus or some type of setting spray, you just kind of forget about it. It's going to be everywhere, just down your face, so you do have to be very careful with that. I would definitely powder a lot underneath the eyes, or just worry about doing your base last. The shade Catch, I think this is beautiful. It layered well over the other shimmer shade, and I think this is the shade that really brought the look together. Overall, I think the mattes are nice. I really like Shake It Off. It's very vibrant, stays true to color. I mean, once you start blending out, it comes out a lot, but if you kind of stamp it, do that stamping method, and then blend out, it stays perfectly. And textural was a nice brown. So these two together actually brought a lot of depth to your look. So you didn't even have to dip into the black if you didn't want to go there. These two layered very nice over each other and created a very nice gradient. Sometimes, you know, when you layer mattes over it, one just kind of dissipates and fades away. Style and Grace, it didn't swatch like anything on my arm as you guys saw, but it was a nice shade to kind of start your look and to transition into. I really like this color, Our Secret, right here. This is a very pretty rose gold pinky shade. It's a brighter, darker rose gold for sure. It's not a lighter rose gold. I have not played with Release yet. My treat is a thicker shimmer shadow that's pretty, and then right here, so you have more of a champagne shimmer shadow, and then you have a fling shimmer shadow. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about like the two palettes together and which one I think you should probably pick up, especially if you can't pick up both of the palettes. Like this palette, this one, the Rendezvous palette, might be a little bit easier to get your hands on just because they do sell it inside Ulta. Or this palette is strictly online, at least for the moment. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get to Ulta, but usually their new releases are not at Ulta just yet. It just takes a little bit of time. But you do have some colors that look pretty darn close. Like you have Petrona, so that's the shade. I did do a video on this palette and did the swatches and everything. And then you have this shade called Our Secret. And when I look at them in the pan, I'm like, what's the difference right here? So these are the two shades. And I'm going to go ahead and swatch them. Sometimes, like, ColourPop comes out with stuff so fast. I'm like, be thinking, like, do they rename this stuff and think we're not supposed to notice? I don't know. It probably is a little bit of difference, but the stuff is sometimes so close. I'm just like, I mean, I don't even remember which one was which, honestly. I believe this one with the more glitter, just looking into the pan, is the Our Secret shade, and I think this one is Patrona, only because this one looks more smoother and I can actually see the microfine glitter when I look at the pan at the shade Rendezvous. Then you do have a gold with this, so I'm going to try to remember this. This one is Two Birds out of the Rendezvous palette, and then this one is Corona. These two golds are two definitely different shades. So the first gold is the Rendezvous. Second gold is from the Becky G palette. So they're very similar here. This one is a little bit more lemony, icier. This one is a little bit more warm. And then as far as, let's see, the Becky G, the other shades that is somewhat similar, you have Australia, which is right here. That's from the Becky G. And then you have the shade, it's called My Treat. It's like it's so light. So this is Australia. And this is from the Becky G. And then this is My Treat. So you do definitely have some similar colors as far as the shimmer shades and the and some of the mattes. Well, the mattes not really, because in the Becky G you do have these two turquoise mattes, and then you do have one turquoise or dark teal, and this is actually a shimmer, and this is called Release. So right there, and I just did do a swatch of it at the beginning of the video. So you have that there, which is not like the best shimmer in the world. I don't know. It's okay. I have not used it on the eye, so I couldn't really tell you. But the Vibra and the Serena shades are very nice from the ColourPop. Look how vibrant that is, and that's from the Becky G palette. So overall, and then you have now I know it's like, okay, they're like red mattes in these two palettes. So the mattes in here are more red tone, versus the mattes in here are more pinky. Even this brown pulls a little bit more. It has a pink base to it down at the bottom. This Cafecito is mostly just a straight up brown. Overall, both of the palettes are gorgeous. I think the color schemes are great. Like, you really can't go wrong as far as the color scheme. But if I would have to say like overall quality and which one I would prefer better, if you could only have to get one, I would go with this one, the Becky G one. And I just think that the mattes perform better. This turquoise shimmer shade, it is okay. I just like the tones of that sangria color better. This shade Never Never in this palette, it gave it something different, but it was just so underperforming, and it just kind of crumbled. And even if you put the shadow on by itself, it was very underperforming. So I can't even imagine if I just had it on my lid as just like the only other thing. The only thing I think this palette is kind of missing as far as the Becky G palette is this color. I really like this color, even I haven't used it. But this color is so similar to that other color. Can't even really tell them apart. So I think that I do like this color better. I do like the packaging better. This palette feels heavier, but this palette also does have a mirror in it, unlike the Rendezvous palette. That never really bothered me, but lately, I don't know, I've been using the mirrors in the palette especially when I'm recording for you guys. Like, if I'm just doing my makeup, I'm not. But let me know what you think. Did you guys pick up any of these palettes? Let me know what you think. Were you thinking about it? Did this like change your mind versus which one you should get? So let me know down in the comments below, and then give this video a big thumbs up and then subscribe to my channel, because you know I would love to have you here. And I'm gonna do, that's my chair dance for y'all. Y'all like that. I have no good sense, y'all. But I will have another video for you guys very, very soon. So until then, take care and have a happy and safe holiday season. I will see you guys later. Bye, YouTube.